What is going on, everybody? My name is Northy, and today I have got the round 21 review for the AFL Teamcoach season. And in this one, we've got some good things that we've had going on, as well as a few things we could have done better as per usual. We haven't had ourselves a perfect week, but it hasn't been too bad either. A few changes from what you may have expected as well. So that'll be interesting for you guys to check out. As I've mentioned, this is also coming out in the middle of Northy's month of Teamcoach. So if you do stumble across this one and haven't checked out the rest of the videos, we're uploading every single weekday 7 packs of Teamcoach for you guys. So hopefully you guys are keen for those ones coming out tomorrow. Had the one up today. So it's really good that we're staying on track, keeping things going. But that being said, be sure to leave a like on this one. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Everything is always very much appreciated. And let's jump into the round 21 Teamcoach review. So here we are. This is what we've got to start off round 22. You can see the best players of the round. A surprising Jack Darling pick. That's a very interesting player to see at this point of the year. But hey, Jack Darling's done pretty well this weekend. Obviously, that game against the Gold Coast Suns, which, man, I don't know what to say about Gold Coast anymore. But what we've got for the tips, this is how we looked last week. Only the 5 out of 9, and some crazy ones too. We got the North one correct, and we got the West Coast one correct. Two very, unexpected ones. We got the Hawthorn one wrong when it was nearly right. The Sydney one we got very wrong, and I imagine a lot of people got that very wrong. That is a very surprising outcome for a game where the top of the ladder side is being pumped by over 100 points. That is ridiculous. And then Carlton losing to Collingwood at the MCG for Pendle's 400th. I had a feeling there was going to be a bit of magic sprinkled on that game, and there most certainly was. Some ones that we also expected, Dogs taking care of the Demons. Honestly, I expected it, but I didn't have confidence in it, so I'm glad it worked out my way. And, you know, for Dogs fans, I'm sure they're fairly happy. Geelong beating Adelaide just by 5 points, nearly at the end. Rochelle kicked one with 30 seconds left and nearly pipped him. And then the Brisbane Lions very comfortably taking the win over St Kilda. So a few interesting ones. The Freo losing by a point. That one could have gone either way, so good on Essendon for taking it, I guess. But overall, some really surprising matchups. I'm honestly just happy that the North game worked out in my favor. Whenever I tip him, I seem to do pretty all right. It's pretty good. Maybe I should tip him next week. But that is all we've got for that. And that leads us into star power. So a few things we can immediately point out. First off, the Treloar pick, pretty good. 116, nowhere near the worst at all. Sinclair was the best, but 116, we will take that. Only the 30 posies, which is actually a little under Treloar's average. Kind of crazy that he's having that type of year. But Sinclair with a really good game. We also had Butters, everyone for Port, basically. LDU even had a phenomenal game. That's great to see. I love seeing that. Matt Rowell did good too. Lots of 100 points. Even Zach Merritt. Zach Merritt did pretty well. But we look elsewhere. We've got defensive dynamo. Again, even though Houston had himself a great game, Whitfield just continues. He is going crazy. Over the last month, he has consistently done incredible. So I have nothing to complain about with that man. Really was needed and worked out very well. Nick Martin pick, not great, but then again, there wasn't all that much. It was actually 2 forwards, a small forward in Rochelle and a tall forward in Ugle-Hagan were the only ones to get over 100 this week. Rayner was pretty close. He's doing quite well as of late, but again, just surprising that Martin is not picking up the form. Although they did pick up a really nice win against Freo, I thought they would have used them a bit more. 25 posies is not something that is, bad, but at the same time, I expect a little more. Maybe that's just me. 3 marks could probably be the reason why he's only dropping into the 80s. We'll see what happens. But Zorko, another good pick. Loads of good Trailblazers. Jared Witts was actually the best with 141. Really good game for Witsy. 50 hitouts. Actually got around the ground a bit and took some marks too. I think he kicked a couple of goals here and there, so really good game for him. Probably the only Sun outside of Matt Rowell who really had a great game. Everyone else either had okay-ish or poor games, and that's why they lost. But elsewhere we look, going back to his usual form. Ollie Wine seeing 100, which is nice for him. Zorko, as I mentioned. Cameron with the 120. 6 goals will help you do that as well. So loads of high-scoring Trailblazer cards. Very surprising. I'm honestly shocked at how high the ratio is. It's much better than next gen. But the one I wanted to point out was Mighty because Mighty very much disappointed this week. Dunkley just did not need to do all that much, and they went ahead and won. I'm trying to think here. The other one I would have gone with was Goulden, and he had 101. You had to have either Rosie, Walsh, and that seems to be it. And that would have gotten you a prize card, I reckon, for silver. It was a tough week. It was a tough week for silvers for sure. But with all that being said, we saw ourselves rank 219, only 527. That's only 50 points off the next person. Like I said, it is very random. Very, very random. This, this Silver Star Powers game mode can shock you as to how crazy it can sway. You can see the 590 being the high score. That would not have gotten you a prize card last week. Would not have gotten you a prize card. This week, you rank 1. Really, really crazy to see the switch up, but we were not that far off again. Really not that far off. Silver's just weird, man. Silver's very weird. We're going to go to Ultra now. Ultra, honestly, not that bad either. We had a better pick at Mighty, and it was double points. Obviously, it would have been nicer if it was Rosie. Maybe I should start to look at him a bit more as we head towards the end of the season, and as he is getting a lot more trustworthy. Remember, we had him at the start of the season, and he won us some prize cards, which was great. We also had Trelaw, double points 116. That's amazing. You love to see it. And, of course, Lockie Whitfield, double points 137. Another beautiful, beautiful pick. You can't go wrong, especially with Whitfield at the moment, man. He's been awesome. And then we saw Martin and Zorko before. Zorko's pick was not that bad. Obviously, we missed out on the double points gone, but I took that risk. He's been having some poor games, but he's finally shown back up, even against the Timmy English opponent, which is honestly not an easy opponent. But I'm glad I've gotten away from the Nick Martin pick eventually. I don't know. It was just very, very hard to choose. Realistically, the choice should have been taken out this one, put in a different one for silver, and then given Gorn the double points, but that wouldn't have been what happened. I would have taken out the Trelaw double points, maybe put in his single points, and obviously that wouldn't have been much better. But I don't know. We'll see. This one gave us a rank 34, nearly 900, literally 1 off 900. Very, very close again to a prize card. Like, this is top 10, and that says 926 for the 10th place. So to be that far off and what, not even 30 points away, oh, it sucks. It sucks being that close. But it's what you got to deal with sometimes. You can't do much about it. It is what it is. We move forward. It's unfortunate we couldn't get that prize card. I feel like we're just one little bit of luck here or there. Like, if we had picked the double points Rosie, or if we had switched up and made Max Gorn our double points, like, there's a change we can make somewhere each week where it goes wrong. It really is the luck of the draw. It's a lucky roll. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just very tough. But that is Star Powers, and now we look at top team, and man, I was scared for this top team. Thank God for Sherry and Whitfield. Tristan Sherry, my God, this man is on something to finish off the season. Another 150 point game. 45 hitouts against Toby Dankervis. That is a crazy performance. Obviously, it's loads of tackles. 6 marks, had at least 10 tackles. Only the 20 possessions, but like, it does not matter all that much when he's dropping that many hard ball gets, that many hit outs, and the marks in between. Like, he is amazing. I love the man, and I'm so glad he's on my team. So glad to see him having the season he's having, man. If it's not Max Gorn, I hope it's Tristan Sherry who wins the All-Australian ruck position, because bloody hell, he deserves some recognition this season. He sure does. And Whitfield, as we mentioned, just an amazing season so far. Nick Newman with 145 was actually the big standout, which we will show in the next top 18 show. But this, yeah, it's another great pick, Whitfield. I don't see a reason to take him out. The other ones, however, Dunkley, Josh Dunkley, 83. You really stuffed me here. Against the St Kilda side, you easily could have racked up points. Nothing. I didn't get anything from you. Oh my God, Isaac Heaney. It wasn't even just you. It was the entire Sydney squad. My God, you were depressing. Jesse Hogan, who we've picked before, he ended up getting 110. How nice it would have been to have Jesse Hogan this week. Man, I don't know what to say. It is just frustrating. After last week's Heaney performance, I'm like, alright, things should go well against Port. They should make it close. He should be involved a bit. No, not even close. 68. That is super bad from Isaac Heaney. And yeah, just overall, Sydney, really disappointing. So, with that being said, top 4 saw us rank 110. We still had 438 points though, thanks to Sherry and Whitfield. Thank goodness. My God, it could have been scary this week. I really thought there's a chance we lost our 1 spot, but we still have it. After 21 rounds, we are 3 rounds away. We still have number 1. We need to keep it. I have no clue how far off number 2 is now. He is not up on the season leaderboards, so he was not in the top 10, but that doesn't mean he wasn't higher than we were, and that means he can catch up. We've got to keep having good weeks. I'm so grateful for Whitfield and Sherry, man. So grateful, because if we didn't have them, we'd be stuffed. But that being said, we have to move on to top 18, and top 18 was great, but heartbreaking, and you'll see why. Having a look here at top 18, there's a few that we can point out straight away. We're gonna look at the defenders. How good is this defenders page? My God, and it could have been better, because we had Dan Houston here, but I took him out for Dacos thinking he'd have a good game. Ooh, that was a bad idea. Dan Houston 126. I had an inkling, but I did not trust myself. And Houston, he's dropped 126. That could have been what put us over the line, and I'll show you what I mean in a sec. But overall, the back was still really good. We look at the midfielders, and we at least got the number 1 in Marcus Bontempelli. Like I said, it is sometimes very risky with that man, but when it pays off very nicely, and 135 is amazing to see. Same goes with Trelaw, 116. Happy days from him as well. Really what you want to see. Andy Brayshaw wasn't even that bad either. He had 109, which you'll take. Goulden, even in a bad performance, dropped 101, so I'm not going to get too mad at that. It's just here with Dunkley, who of course was our top 4 pick. That's not what you want to see at all. Not at all. So we move on. We have to move on. We had Walsh in not that long ago as well. Merritt, like, it's just annoying when you want to hold on to them, but you feel like you're missing out on something, and then they pop off as soon as you take them out. Merritt and Walsh, both of them just, oh, it's heartbreaking. It really is. But then we go into our forward line, and a few really disappointing ones. Good ones, Danaher and Cameron. Cameron obviously topped the week for the forwards with 120. And Danaher bounced back like I was hoping he would with a 96-point performance. Great stuff. That's what you want to see. Good stuff, Joe. The rare Brisbane player apparently to help me out. But then we go down. Heaney was 68. He wasn't even close to the worst. Ginnivan 54. Myers 53. Kerno 51. This was a really disappointing forward line week. This was not what we wanted to see at all. I don't see any Harry Mackay. He even played poorly. Only 8 disposals, 5 marks and a goal. Just very low impact. Yeah, as the likes of Hogan, who we've had before, Toby Green, who we've had before. Rochelle's starting to do a bit more with the ball. Jamar is really breaking out at the moment. He's looking really solid. Just so many players who, like, it really annoys me when as soon as I want to jump onto a trend, they fall off a cliff. Especially if I switch him out with a player who I had in before. It frustrates the hell out of me. But all that being said, we ranked 28. We did so well. We were so close. We should have had a prize card in here this week, man, if it wasn't for the awful picks in here. The Dunkley change, if we had kept Houston in. Like, there's so many ways we could have won it this week. We were 22 points off. It's literally just keep Houston in and we would have had it. And I forgot to mention Luke Ryan back to form. Like, what the hell? Hayden Young doing well again. This is just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a very strange week. I'm happy with my Nick Newman pick, don't get me wrong. I'm glad I took out one of the guys I did for him. I took out, I think, Hayden Young for him. But we took out the Dan Houston for Nick Dacos, and that, I think, has cost us a prize card. That hurts. That really hurts. Anyways, that is where we are going to end the video, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. It was a bit tough towards the end, but overall, hope you guys did well too. Be sure to let me know how you guys went in the comments. If you guys won prize cards, congratulations, but unfortunately, it just was not my week, so hopefully you guys did a little better. But nonetheless, we are still number 1 for top 4, number 2 for top 18 with some good progression. Let's see how we do for the rest of the season as per usual. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Everything is always very much appreciated, so I hope to see you all in the next one. Good.